The Kathopanishad says that when the knots of the heart are cut, then a mortal becomes immortal. What does it mean? Certainly that which is intrinsically mortal and changeful does not become immortal or eternal. Just as that which is eternal or immortal does not become transient or mortal. It means in the realization of the true nature of the self, you find that the very existence which previously you thought was mortal, a limited being, is absolute being consciousness bliss, innately immortal, the eternal. The knots of the heart are the mistaken associations of the self with what is not the self. To cut those knots means the cessation of misidentification. When misidentification is severed, the innately infinite and eternal self is known as it is. Let your meditation, therefore, be one of discriminating inquiry. You are not the body, you are not the mind, you are not an ego. Who are you? All right.
You you said that remove the misidentification with the body, mind, and ego. And actually, I could see that the thoughts of the ego and its thoughts or any pride, everything is centered on that ego. But I was not able to. That there is that existence which is a knower. That did not seem real yet. My penetration was not deep, though I was questioning. I was getting distracted also.
What knows the ego and its activities? You know about the ego. You know about ignorance. From what position do you know?
It is beyond that thought.
Beyond thought is the realm of transcendent truth, your real existence. That is immortal.
There should be a feeling of the existence being wondrous or awe for it, right? When you said it's immortal, that brings that attraction towards it. Otherwise, it seems. So this keeping this inquiry. Actually, nowadays, what I do is I ask that question: for whom is this? Any thought comes. Actually, that does reduce this importance of that ego, because I don't continue with my plans, something like that. There is, when I go with the thoughts, there is but again and again I have to do it. It's not continuous. It is.
There is no need to measure your spiritual practice in terms of thoughts. Keep the emphasis on self-knowledge, for that alone is eternal. When you ask yourself, for whom is this, in relation to any thought, what should happen is your entire way of viewing should become non-objective. The thought itself, being actually unreal, will also subside. For whom is this? The emphasis is all on self-knowledge. You must know yourself with a knowledge that is non-objective. Even now you know all the thoughts, though none of the thoughts know you. Who is this you? It cannot be defined in terms of thought, which means it is attributeless and illimitable. You exist, most certainly. What is the existence? You know it directly, even without thought process.
So I had kind of interesting meditation. A lot of thoughts, and try to keep pursuing the meditation, even though it just seems like a lot of, I don't know, ideas like I'm managing 2 programs, and these roles kind of keep expanding by the day. They keep wanting me to do more stuff, so it's like totally exploding. And like management styles are totally different between me and this guy who's I'm helping. So he's like pounding them. So I'm kind of meditating on, where is harmony really found? Definitely not in the world in this case. And just how cool this meditation is. Or, I don't know, this opportunity, I guess. Because there's something like what you were just talking with Raman, how formless and how immediate it is, because I can have like a million thoughts, but that wouldn't necessarily stop myself. And yet, a lot of times I'm thinking, that this would stop me, as if I was it.
How would it stop you?
Only because I believe it is real.
In what are all your thoughts contained?
It wouldn't be outside of me.
That me must be very vast then. For the entire world is in the mind. That consciousness in which all is contained, but which none limits, is unstoppable. It never ceases to exist. It never diminishes. Contrasted with the eternal, how big are the situations you're thinking of? How important?
Yeah, they won't even be remembered that long.
You are not an embodied individual appearing in this illusory dream. You are the infinite and eternal being consciousness. That cannot be obstructed. It cannot be prevented from being itself or from knowing itself. All the thoughts that seem so important during a so-called present moment are really utterly unimportant, transient nothing. Keep the eternal in view and know yourself as you truly are. Om.